All right. It appears that we should be live on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, with TikTok still to come. As long as it wants to start up. If it doesn't want to start up, well, then we'll do something different. So, yes, welcome to Hypnosis Hero Podcast. You are here with us. I got to guess we are well into our 110th or 11th episode already. It seems like only yesterday when we started with this on a bunch of different levels. But yeah, today, of course, you might be joining us. It still might say like 8:30 Eastern and 5:30 Pacific. Many of you have changed your clocks over the weekend, which weirdly enough, even though we don't change our clock, it does change for us. So whereas I was an hour behind Eastern, I'm now 2 hours behind Eastern, and 1 hour. I'm still 1 hour ahead of Brian, so that's good. Always stay ahead of the West Coast. And there's mountains there too and stuff like that. So we just want to make sure that they stay over there and we can stay ahead of them, and we're all good. All right, we're gonna hit the go live button on TikTok land, and then we're live everywhere. Except that it wants more information. More information. Always more information. There we go. All right, now we're live everywhere. All right, and speaking of being live everywhere and everywhere you want to be, let me bring on my co-host with the most from the West Coast. Hi, you see what I did there? Mr. Brian Bay.
Hey, good evening, Shawn. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Oh, man, it's been a day. But, we're kind of a week so far. Just busy, but we're slowly adjusting to the time change. We had a big cocktail party at the Nile that I bartended Saturday night. Stayed up way too late the night before and way too late that night. And it's just been a lot of sleep and then going, wait a minute, now I'm up all night. But, the alarm dog goes off in the morning and, here we are.
It's funny how that internal clock that they have just goes off at the same time, regardless of whatever we set our clocks to.
And it's strange because I'm looking out the window at 5:30 West Coast time. It's plenty of sunlight, even though I don't know, we were supposed to get dumped on with a bunch of snow, but the mountains are just really getting it hard. And it's light, whereas a month ago it was dark at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and things like that. So, but it's nice to see the sunlight out in the morning, and it's only going to get longer.
Well, that's true. Until at least until June 22nd, right?
Yeah,
we've got a few months for it to get really long, and I've said this before on the podcast, especially around the fact that coming from Saskatchewan, where the further north you go, the more sunlight there is, and I've been fairly close to the top of the province a few times, and it is startling how there is no darkness for like all but maybe there's maybe 3 hours where it kind of dips. It's not ever totally dark.
It's like a 2 hour sunset, and then it just goes right back up.
Yeah, and you contrast that with you go to Vegas or Texas or someplace like that.
Oh yeah,
and it's almost like a 12 and 12, and it's like, wait a minute, it's way too early to be getting dark. I have a kid right now in Puerto Vallarta playing with his band, the Steadies.
Right. Yeah, you were talking about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They've been in Malacca and now they're in Puerto Vallarta. And
wait. Say that again.
Malacca?
Wisconsin?
No, okay. That's Milwaukee.
I was about to say, I'm like, wait a minute. I bet you those two get screwed up a lot.
Yeah, no, Malacca, I think, is further south and more inland than Puerto Vallarta is.
Okay.
But yeah, they've been out there this is their last week, and then they're on their way back into Canada. So, for him, it'll be a stark adjustment because he'll have about 3 extra hours of sunlight. So,
I was going to say for him, he was probably practically on the equator.
Pretty close. I wouldn't say it'd be a little further south, but not much. So, yeah,
much warmer, I assume.
Oh yes, definitely much warmer because it snowed yesterday. So, and today it's sunny outside and melting. So, take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
So,
but we've got a pretty awesome guest tonight, don't we?
We do indeed. We also have Dot watching.
Susan, how are you doing?
Hope things are well down in Tennessee, I believe it is, if I remember correctly.
Unless she's back from her trip to New York.
Well, yeah,
I did see that with some snowstorms and things and whatnot.
Yeah. So yes, we hope things are well and good. I mean, you're in the right place. If you're with us, you're in the right place.
Yep.
Yeah. Hello and yes. All right. We got you. So are you in New York right now when there's a blizzard going on?
I think either that or she was talking about that was the New York blizzard.
That was a New York blizzard. Okay. Yes. That wasn't the same one that happened at the end of PHS. I can say that.
No, I think it was right afterwards.
Yep.
I think there were a couple that just made their way through and kind of rocked everybody.
Yeah, it's been weird weather this year. Like I kind of feel for Grant because I know he came over here to. These guys.
We've got some bots on TikTok, don't you?
No, TikTok keeps suspending everything, and it's like, no, I just appealed it, and then they suspended it again. It's like, come on, we're not monetizing anything. So,
was it something I said?
No, it's just the fact that it says podcast.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure they've changed their. Policy.
Yeah, let me see if I can get some clarification on that. It's not going to be tonight, but
yeah. All of that said, we do actually have a globetrotter of a guest coming in here, so we will talk a little bit about him before he gets here because we can say all these great, wonderful things. Yeah. We can say that he is a nationally recognized comedy hypnotist and TV personality known for unforgettable performances on Pawn Stars, 90 Day Fiancé, and live stages across the country. As a former Vegas headliner, he's performed nightly in world-class venues including Mandalay Bay, Paris Hotel, and the Venetian Hotel, where his shows became must-see attractions on the Strip. Now based in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, he brings that same explosive energy and showmanship to the grandstand. He's hypnotized over 10,000 volunteers and performed 800 plus shows locally, making his production one of the top rated live shows in Myrtle Beach. And Myrtle Beach is a destination I would like to get to at some point. So when I do, he's going to take me out for steak and we're going to have a good time. Whether you're in the spotlight or in the audience, his comedy Hypnosis Hour delivers nonstop laughs, jaw-dropping moments, and a totally different experience every night. This is Vegas-style R-rated comedy hypnosis. This is a Vegas-style R-rated comedy hypnosis show that keeps guests coming back again and again. And if you're looking for the best comedy show in Myrtle Beach, this is it. You won't believe your eyes. And welcome to the Hypnosis Hero podcast, Mr. Steve Falcon.
Hey, welcome.
Wow.
See, we could joke and say, you know what?
What a greeting.
He's a Falcon. He just flew in, but he actually really did just fly in.
Yeah. I love that intro because I wrote it with ChatGPT. So that's great. That's directly from my website where I direct my my ad traffic, my digital ad traffic to close the sale. So that is part of my sales funnel. Thank you for the warm welcome to the show.
No,
Glad to be here. We talked a little bit offline, but I will let anybody know who's watching this. I've been away from home for about 2.5 weeks, and I just got home a few hours ago, a little bit under the weather and definitely not full energy. So you're going to get 78% of Steve Falcon tonight, but I'm going to give you everything I've got. Where do we start? Religion, politics. What do you guys want to do? Let's jump in.
Some of my favorite.
Just remember, I want to keep my TikTok account. I worked really hard to grow the viewership.
Your TikTok account is not Steve Falcon's problem.
Yeah,
in the third person. So I'm here to entertain and nothing more.
But Shawn, I am kind of curious in the interest of current events. There was I saw online that there was a vote or some type of something going on in Calgary about the independence or like signatures that were being gathered. I think Alberta is trying to kind of do its own thing.
There will be a referendum held. I'm sure that'll be one of many questions that'll be on the referendum. And in Canada, a referendum is meant to inform. It's not necessarily legally binding.
Okay. I heard bits and pieces of it, and it's interesting of what they're trying to do. And I figured you're probably the best person you probably have a lot more knowledge than I do.
And for me, I want to say there's nothing more fascinating than Canadian politics. That is the key to an entertaining evening. You get around a fire circle, you're tossing back a couple of cold ones with the boys. Canadian politics is always the best method of conversation to keep the fire going, keep the party going all night long.
CPAC is one of our most watched channels.
Yeah, well, I don't.
By crickets too. Yes.
Okay.
Very good. The big news I think in Canada right now, is that apparently there was somebody that took a couple of shots at the American embassy in Toronto. That's the big news right now.
No, that's not a good thing.
I think they're armed in that embassy. I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah,
I think there's U.S. Marines there that don't like being shot at.
Yeah, downtown Toronto is probably not the best two-way rifle range either.
Right.
At 3:00 in the morning, surprisingly, it's still fairly active. We often refer to Toronto very much like we do with New York. It seems like it never sleeps. I was there, I don't know, gosh, it'd be 10 or 12 years ago. We stayed at a hotel on Yonge Street, which is the longest street in Toronto. And it was 3:00 in the morning and stuff was going on. We were 6 floors up and you could just hear everything going on at the just at the intersection at the corner, and then sirens and fighting.
I just spent 2 days walking the streets of downtown Chicago for 2 full days and nights.
Tell us about your trip. I know you were in Vegas for the show, and then you had to reschedule for
I went to do a show, and it got delayed 6 days. And I don't have a home there anymore as of a few months ago. So even though Vegas was home, I'm a visitor, so I'm a tourist. So I was at the MGM Grand Hotel. Found out I was going to be there another 6 days. So I lived in that hotel room for, I don't know, it ended up being 10 or 11 days, which is enough. I mean, I enjoy it, but there's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
And so I did the show, and then a couple days later, hopped on a plane, went to Chicago, spent a couple days in Chicago, did a show, had one more day as a tourist, and then yesterday morning flew to Raleigh, North Carolina. Did a show last night, and then this morning got up early and drove back to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and that concluded 2.5 weeks of being away from home. I thought my dogs would be more excited to see me when I got back, but evidently they had forgotten who I was.
Oh, it's you. Okay.
So
Mom fed as well.
I've got one dog that is elderly and he's getting a little bit senile, and he got really upset when I came in the house. He didn't know who it was at first.
Mhm.
So it took some acclimating.
Yeah.
But I am back home and I am again king of the castle. Who is that going up the stairs? Get him down here. I need to talk to them immediately.
Oh, that's that's my roommate.
Get him down here immediately.
Oh no, he's gonna go crash out. He gets up in the early in the morning, but no. So you were now. Did you fly out of Raleigh? Is that the major airport to go in and out of Myrtle Beach? Or
No, we have a fairly decent sized airport.
Okay.
Here in Myrtle Beach, and they're expanding. This is a premier tourist destination and also quickly becoming a hotbed of retirement activity for the Northeast. So we have quite the influx of Northeasterners that had vacationed here for years and decided to make this home.
Yeah.
So it is a hotbed of retirement activity. So you can just imagine those parties.
With a lot of golf.
Yeah.
That takes over from a lot of the college crowd, or do you still?
Yeah, it's interesting here, and I won't dive too deep because I don't think people are going to be super interested. But I've spent a lot of time studying the demographics here in the regional area because that's how I earn my living now. And I will tell you that Myrtle Beach itself has become less of a destination, especially for young people, because they've closed up a lot of the nightclubs and a lot of the nighttime activity, fun stuff for them. I mean, there's still bars and there are still live music around, but North Myrtle Beach and as you head south of Myrtle Beach, which is Murrells Inlet and Surfside, and those communities get a lot more traffic for the party crowd and the younger crowd. I don't get a lot of guests from, like, we have Coastal Carolina University fairly close by. I don't get a lot of guests from the university. They're really in their own world over there, about 20 minutes away. So I really rely primarily on tourists. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and that now how often do you get out to Chicago? Because I remember seeing the Facebook posts that you were at. You were like, okay, well, I've got, this location was from this movie, and then this one is something else, and so is
that's
kind of cinema.
That's something fun that I like to do, and it's silly to some people, but I really enjoy going to the places where movie scenes or TV scenes were filmed and photographing myself there. It's a fun thing. And one of my favorite movies of all time is The Breakup with Jennifer Aniston and Vince Vaughn. It's a very sad romantic comedy.
Right.
And they filmed it in and around Chicago. So I said, you know what? I'm going to be in Chicago. I'm going to scope out a couple of these places where they filmed the movie. And
so when you're on the road, you're kind of like, okay, little side quests.
Yeah, I'm looking for stuff. I was on vacation in Europe in 2024 and found the church steps from the movie Midnight in Paris with Owen Wilson. That was kind of fun. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
that's fun. Have you ever done that?
I've been to different places where
most of us have
stuff is, or where stuff was filmed.
Where stuff is, yes, there's stuff, everywhere. It's lots of stuff.
So it's like I grew up in San Diego, so all of the Top Gun.
We were neighbors. I grew up 2 hours north of you in West Covina.
Oh, I played the roller hockey championships up there in high school.
Tonight is supposed to be about me, but we can talk about you too. Okay, I don't mind.
No, I'm familiar with West Covina.
Yeah,
it's been a minute since I've been there.
I used to drive down to San Diego all the time, and back then it was safe to go across to Tijuana, and you could go down there and get tacos and drink beer and walk around.
Yeah, those
were the days.
Yeah, now it's kind of like good luck just driving.
Well, Shawn, you said that your son is in Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah.
Is that safe right now? Because we heard about these cartel wars, and then it just all went away, right?
Yeah, it said it usually flares up for a day or two, and then everything kind of settles down again. So,
but he's comfortable. He's good.
Yeah, he's a little under the weather right now. He said
Hmm.
he's got the cold because it's his first time ever in Mexico. So he figured that everybody
He's
gets.
not drinking the water, right?
I
And I'm
was
not
going to
making,
say he
he's
drank the
not drinking the
water.
water.
I told him, I said, look, get your shots before you go because
And bottled water, always
yeah.
bottled water.
Yep. So no,
We
he'll
had a
be
couple.
fine.
I don't want to jump on the format of the show, but I'm getting very excited because Becca asked a question, and then Susan made a comment that Surfside.
Oh yeah.
Susan enjoys Surfside. That's awesome, Susan. It's really nice down there. And then Becca said, "What's a favorite funny memory or highlight from one of your shows?" I think that's a great question. I don't want
Yeah,
to get
go
ahead
for
of
it.
ourselves,
No,
but
no. Send it, man. We kind of squirreled off for a minute, and
no, I'm really enjoying. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. I'm shiny object, and I'm going to go. But I love
we
that.
were talking about motorcycles earlier, but
We were
yeah,
talking about motorcycles. I had a lovely ride, and then on the way back, the engine started breaking up as soon as I hit 80 miles an hour, and I thought maybe I was running out of gas or something weird, so I limped it home, and we'll figure it out tomorrow. But that's
yeah, another story for
motorcycle.
another day.
Yeah. Favorite funny memory or highlight from one of your shows? I actually want to tell a story that was a complete disaster from one of my shows.
Okay,
And
yes.
it was from the first season that I was here in Myrtle Beach. That was 2021. And I had a woman on stage. I've not had to kick many people out of my show. Like literally, you have to leave the building because you don't know how to behave as an adult. You know, we get our occasional hecklers and things. I deal with that all the time.
So not leave my stage, get out.
It started as leave my stage. You know, when you bring people up on stage, you're
Mhm.
looking for some compliance, and
Yep.
you've already built rapport at that point. And now if you've got somebody that's just we get people that come on stage just for the attention, and they're acting up, and they're like a child, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're dealing with that. But of course, it's very important for me, billing myself as a comedy show. This show's got to be fun and funny and entertaining at all times. There are no boring lulls in my show. Everything is entertainment, and there are no gaps. There's no dead air. Everything is boom, boom, boom. And when somebody's disrupting that, they only get so many chances. And then if it gets to a point, now you're just being completely disruptive. I think you're going to enjoy the show more from the audience than on stage. I don't think this part of the experience is for you, but you bought a ticket. I want you to enjoy yourself. Let's head back to the audience. So, what's the protocol on this show as far as language and gestures?
I think we're okay.
No objections, Your Honor.
Okay, perfect. So this woman, as she was leaving, well, I'll clean it up a bit. But this woman, as she was leaving the stage, let me know that I was number one.
Did you get both barrels or just a single?
You know, I don't recall.
Okay.
I don't recall. So she's leaving the stage now, and she did that, and I said on the microphone, because of course now the whole audience is involved. You just brought the show to a screeching halt. And I said, well, initially I thought you'd enjoy the show more from the audience, but now I don't care if you enjoy the show at all. You have to leave. You are out the door. You're going. Goodbye. You're gone. And she was hammered, drunk, and this and that. So she's walking back, and she's running her mouth. She's going back to the audience. She gets back with her husband. They are walking towards the door. And one of my wonderful audience members said the funniest thing I'd ever heard come out of the audience. And she said it very loud. She said, "Can you hypnotize the bitch out of her?" That was great.
Oh, that's like you just became my new assistant.
Unfortunately, she also lit that fire because I needed this person to be out of the building. And she ran back.
You're kind of like, could you have held that for 10 more seconds?
Right. She ran back in and actually swung on the woman that said that. And this became a fist fight. And in that season, we have tiered theater style seating now, like a movie theater.
I didn't know that Waffle House did that.
Yeah, they do. They do. You obviously haven't been to a Waffle House in Myrtle Beach. So that year we had banquet chairs, flat seating, and chairs went flying. The husbands got involved. It was an absolute nightmare from people that don't know how to behave. And it's a really interesting story, but I love to tell it because, especially for other people performing this type of show, you really don't know what's going to happen, especially if you're doing a bar show, a restaurant show, there's any kind of alcohol. This won't likely happen at a corporate event or at a high school, but when you're dealing with the public at large and they're intoxicated, anything can happen. And this was one of those things where I just stood there, because now it all gets settled up. Security comes in. A couple of older couples felt like they needed to leave. They didn't feel safe anymore, which I don't blame them, and then I still had to do a show. Now you got to go back to hypnotizing people. I hadn't even done the induction yet. Nothing had happened yet. I did 10 minutes of stand-up comedy, got some volunteers up there, and then
now everybody's all jazzed up on adrenaline, and you're like, okay, and relax.
Yeah, so I remember the first line that I said, so they get them out the door, everything's back, and I turned to the audience and I said, so as I was explaining, hypnosis is a very calming, mellowing experience. We are absolutely going to just chill out. And then we which I don't take that yoga approach to my...
We had a laugh about it.
Anyway, but yeah, we had a good laugh, and then we got on with the show, and I think it was a decent show. But I mean, memories, I've got 1,000 of them, doing a show during the tail end of a hurricane where the power goes out, the microphones go out, the lights go out, and I had the audience pull up their cell phone lights, and I did at least 10 minutes without a microphone or lighting of any kind, sound of any kind, and then the power came back on, and we finished the show.
And that probably made it even more memorable, where it's like, okay, we've got the audience uniting and
it was great.
Being a part of it. Yeah, that's people can talk about that forever.
Yeah, it was great. So I've got those types of stories to go on and on and on. But then, I've got all the same stories that everybody else has about the funniest stuff I saw on stage, the funniest thing somebody said. I mean, who knows where to even start with that? That's pretty common. A lot of highlights.
So when you had that lady who lost her mind,
yeah,
did that bring about any change on, hey, we're going to limit alcohol, or we're going to start serving a little bit later, or kind of what was the dynamics of the venue where you were at?
No changes, not in the least. Forget it. No way.
Okay.
No, people have to learn to behave themselves, and I'm not your parent. You're coming to the show, you're buying a ticket, you're going to enjoy the experience, and if you don't behave properly, you're out.
And then how long before the show?
So rare. It's so rare. It's really rare.
How long before the show, when there's alcohol service, do you, I guess, allow service?
None of that matters, because my show's 9:15 at night. Mm-hmm. People are showing up hammered. If they're alcoholics, they're showing up hammered.
Okay.
There is a large segment of the population that knows how to go out, have a cocktail or two, have a great time, enjoy their night. And that is primarily what we get. But I do occasionally get somebody that's drunk and doesn't know how to behave. And in that case, I have the great luxury of my stage character affording me the ability to rip those people to shreds. Because not everybody can do that. Not everybody has a stage character that will support that. And if you go in too hard on somebody, you can turn everybody against you or make things very uncomfortable. When I do it, it's funny. So
you find that humor is more de-escalating at the same time, where it kind of sends the humor or sends the message of like, you don't want this fight, Bobby Fischer, take the draw, just go sit down and be quiet.
I want that person to know that if they continue, they're going to get eaten alive, that they are no match. They're slow, drunk, stammering is no match for somebody that does this every single night for a living. Right. I want the people around them telling them, stop, he is going to tear you up. But I make statements all the time. The trend now, we see it all over social media, and Matt Rife kind of popularized this.
Yeah.
I get a lot of stand-up comedians in my feed, and it's not videos of them necessarily doing a routine. It's videos of them dealing with hecklers. And so this has kind of become the norm for people seeing comedy shows on their social media, that this is part of the show now. They think somebody's got to, heckle the comedian because that's the show. Like, he needs somebody to interact with.
And somebody like Matt Rife, that's part of his shtick, because he does a lot of crowd work.
And I love crowd work, but I don't love getting heckled. And there's a fine line.
Oh, sure.
I love mixing it up, but I'm going to do it on my terms. I'm performing a show. So if you're jumping up to be, hey, I want to be the heckler, well, now you've just interrupted everything. So
I was going to say,
you
doing it on your terms is like when the crowd work, it's when you want to invite it.
Yeah.
And have the participation.
Oh, absolutely. Speak when spoken to, like when we were children. Your parents said, hey, I don't want to hear from you unless I'm talking to you. At least that's what my parents did. Then they hit me with objects, and I never reported it.
Yeah, so, don't talk to me until you can look in my coffee cup and it's empty. I've got my first cup of caffeine in me, and but
all right. So I've got an extra Steve in the TikTok chat. Steve Superchannel joining us.
Hello, Steve, in the TikTok chat. Susan, I see your comments. Becca, I see your comments. We're going to get to those. We're going to talk about some of this stuff. It's good stuff. Yeah. I'm not gonna take over your podcast. I'm sorry. I talk a lot.
No.
What happens when you get alpha personalities all together? It's a power struggle.
You've got Dot all riled up here because she says, that's Matt Rife. Someone.
Let's go.
It's legal now.
Let's go. I love it.
Listen, if you ever meet Susan and get a chance to party with her, you realize she's not as innocent as you think she is.
I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to catching one of Susan's shows, because she was. I know you had a show in Tennessee at one point. I'm going to catch one of her shows at some point.
She is absolutely stellar. All right. All that said, let's move on here. Do you have a favorite type of induction that you tend to use a lot in your shows?
I do. I have a standard induction, word for word. It's the exact same every night, but I'm not reading from a script. It is a hybrid of several inductions that I've learned over the years, and a big chunk of it came from Anthony Kuhl's induction that he gave me permission to use. And I want to cover this topic as well at some point during this podcast, of getting permission to do things that we're emulating from other people. But that's a separate topic. But most of my induction, and I have a really long induction. It's an exceptionally long induction. It's anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes start to finish. And I have seen other hypnotists argue all day long, that's boring. You got to get it done faster. You got to do this. You got to do that. I got told by one guy in one of the forums, oh, if you need help learning to hypnotize people faster, I can clean that up for you. And I'm like, no, this is actually part of my show. It's designed to be this way. It's intentional. And I do that based on what I think my audiences want to see and what their feedback is. And I'm very proud to say I've got a perfect 5.0 star rating on Google. So evidently I'm doing something right. I've never had a single person after the show go, wow, that took forever. So my induction is multiple facets, and I would say it's mostly guided imagery, and there's a little bit of catalepsy in there. There's buckets and balloons, baked in, and there's a little refractionalization at the end of it. And then we're doing stuff with their eyes closed to check for compliance, weed a few people out, and then after that, the eyes come open and it's party time. So that's my formula in a nutshell, and it works for me.
So to I guess how would you explain the method to the madness, or the strategy behind the lengthy induction?
That's a great question. Allow me to answer that,
please. Yes.
Sorry, that was my other personality coming out. I haven't taken my medication today. Everything I do on stage at this point is the result of trial and error over the course of 1,000 shows. So everything in my, call it pre-talk, call it building rapport, call it stand-up comedy, whatever you want to call it. It's not a pre-talk. I don't lecture the audience. It's all entertainment. It's all jokes. Everything that's ever happened to me on stage, I've developed a defense mechanism against. So now every part of my show is purposeful, based on things that I've experienced. So when we talk about the induction, I start the induction by giving a few suggestions right off the bat. The first suggestion is you're glued to your chair. That's an important one. The next suggestion is sounds from the audience won't bother you. Random noises will relax you. You'll be completely focused on my voice. The person next to you bumps into you. You'll find that to be very relaxing. I give just a handful of suggestions that I know are going to be valuable immediately. And then I go into some guided imagery, and then I come right back. But I also do a demonstration just before I start the induction. And I have all of the volunteers close their eyes, and I make a joke about, you can still hear the sound of my voice. That's what this experience is like. And then this is an Anthony Cool's joke, again, used with permission. If you stop hearing my voice during the induction, it simply means you have died during the performance. Don't die during the performance.
and with your sense of humor, just saying it with a straight face, it fits beautifully.
And then I make I've got a couple of jokes that I interchange at that point throughout the night. Like, please do not, if you are planning to die tonight, please don't die until you leave the property for insurance purposes. And then I've got to call back to that later when I say I was just kidding. I lost my insurance months ago. Stuff like that I layer in depending on what's going on. But I give them a demonstration, and then this is I don't mind sharing this for anybody who's interested. Use it, don't use it, I don't care. We're all kind of looking for the best way to describe what hypnosis is to this panel of volunteers that's bright-eyed and bushy-tailed on stage. The lights are in their eyes. There's an audience in front of them. Maybe they have stage. Who knows what anybody's thinking on stage, right? And you're getting ready to hypnotize them. And I explain to them, this is what's going to happen. And this is the explanation that I've come up with. Every night of your life, when you've gone to sleep on your own, if you've slept at least 5 to 6 hours, you enter the REM state. That's the state where we tend to dream and the state where we're most relaxed. If you follow my instructions tonight to the letter, and we don't get interrupted, I can jumpstart you into that REM state in 5 to 7 minutes tops. The difference is tonight, I am the creep hanging over your bed telling you what you should be dreaming about. I usually get a good laugh out of that. Tonight, not so much. And that I explain to them, it's not mind control. It's not body control. There's no magic genie that's going to move your body. And there are hypnotists that are going to tell you, don't do this because you're giving away your power. You're explaining it too much. You're telling them that it's a real thing, and you're taking away that mystique that you're going to do something to them. And I would argue, at least for me, again, everything I'm going to tell you is just what works for me. Anybody can do what they want. I'm not going to tell you the right way and the wrong way. I'm going to tell you my way, and it works. By explaining to them that it's not magic powers, I'm encouraging these folks to participate. Even if you feel stupid, if I tell you you're milking a cow, just milk the cow. Because if I can get through 1 or 2 routines with their eyes closed, even if they weren't what we're going to call under by the end of the induction, if I can get you to participate, that buys me the time to get you under while still entertaining an entire audience and tending to the other people who are deeply under. I don't want to lose volunteers for a couple of reasons. I actually saw, I don't know if you guys saw Justin James' post.
I was just about to bring that up. Yeah.
So you got 20 volunteers. You want to keep 20 volunteers. That's good for those environments that he's in. I looked at Anthony Cool's. I look at Kevin Lapine. I look at Mark Savard, and because these are the guys that I emulate, right? This is the type of thing that I'm doing at a ticketed stage show. And I believe that he's right. He's trying to offer value. He's trying to get the most people hypnotized, trying to let everybody participate. My philosophy is I start with 16 chairs on stage. I want to fill them all up, and then I want to get rid of that back row. I want to kick 8 people out of there. I want to be stuck with the top 8 or 10 people, move them all up to the front. And now these are the people who are going to be the rock stars. Not everybody's going to make the cut because some people are lethargic. Some people didn't follow this. Whatever the case, you weed them out. However, for those folks who are filming their show and selling the copies, that is a revenue stream, and it is one that I really enjoy. So in the last couple of years, I've kept people up there, even if they were lethargic, even if they were not under, as long as they're not undermining the authentic nature of the show. In other words, if this person down here is answering their cell phone and then playing along, obviously I'm not going to keep that person on stage because now the audience is going, well, look, it's all fake. But if that person is having a good time And if we can joke with that person, I'm going to leave them up there because at the end of the show, I want their family to buy a copy because this guy is on vacation. I'm in a resort town. I want him to have a souvenir of the experience. Even if he didn't get the same experience as the 9 people next to him, I'm going to keep him up there. But I've come up with funny things to do. We get lethargic people that just take a nap and they won't participate in anything, but they're hypnotized, but you're not going to get them to do anything. I've got a great Santa beanie with a built-in beard, and I'll put people in costumes and just let them take a nap in a costume. And the audience loves it because it's a good laugh. Their friends are going, look at George up there. He's dressed like Santa.
My very first show, I had that.
Yeah, just lethargic. Somebody just taking a nap.
Somebody just went straight to Esdale, and it's like, okay.
That show.
Go ahead. Was it Kevin that we were talking to that was sharing the story that he had somebody that was up on stage and they were just conked out, and he goes, okay, who did this person come with? And it was the wife, and she's like, is he normally not responsive like this?
Oh, the big guy, the real big guy.
And she's like, we just had triplets like a month and a half ago, and he was like, oh yeah, he's super sleep deprived. Just let him sleep and get some rest.
The show that I just did at the Rio in Vegas, front row, Asian guy, just knocks out, just gone. So I make again, my stage character allows me to turn to the wife and go, I'm sorry, we've lost another one. But can we keep him for the rest of the show? I don't want to alarm everybody else. We'll just keep him up here. But yeah, we're going to need a medic or something.
We'll put him on ice later.
Yeah. So then at a certain point, I turn to her and I go, he does speak English, right? Like he's not doing anything. And she goes, this is the best thing ever. And she's filming him just conked out. And I go, this is great. At the end of the show, I wake him up for the finale and he realizes he's wearing the Santa hat with the beard. And he rips that off and throws it across the room. And then at the meet and greet, he goes, that was the best time I ever had. That was so much fun. I loved it. It's like you never know.
And you're just kind of like, all right, man, we're gonna go with it.
Hey, it wasn't good for me, but it was great for them. So what do I care? The audience enjoyed it. It's all just entertainment, man.
Yeah, you are welcome.
Yeah, it's just fun.
Yeah. So we've got a lot going on in both chats here.
Bring it on.
Robin has joined us from British Columbia, and she asked, what is your favorite instant induction?
Okay, that's great. And by the way, I have a long story for everything, which I think is great for podcasts. Not so great.
It's great for content.
You could almost be a Canadian politician if you've got a long story for everything.
I wouldn't go that far. Yeah,
not quite a filibuster.
I'm gonna reserve my political talk about the 51st state. I do love our Canadian brothers, and you've got our 52nd state, Greenland, as a hat, which is pretty cool. Okay, so rapid inductions, instant inductions. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Can I vent? Can I vent?
Yes.
This
is what's awesome about having a podcast is we get to interview so many different people, and it's like you ask 10 people different questions, you'll get 10 different answers. It's super interesting for me. So yes, please.
Okay, so rapid inductions. First, let me say that I am so sick and tired of hypnotists hypnotizing somebody and then posting their rapid induction by cutting that video to the 3 seconds where they're just putting them back under and going, look at how fast I am. When I first learned hypnosis, I took let's get that out of the way first. I took a weekend class from Kevin. Okay. Mm-hmm. Kevin Lapine was my friend. We'd done a little business together in Vegas. And he was going to do a class. And I talked to my ex-wife at the time, who was a performer. We were on opposing schedules. I said, I would love to perform comedy. Do you think I should learn this hypnosis? And she said, she encouraged it. She said, go for it. Take the class. And I thought it was all BS anyway. I thought it was nonsense. I always enjoyed it. I saw Anthony Cool's show. I saw Kevin's show. They were a lot of fun. But I knew that he had actors pretending, and it was fun. But it was all fake, right? Well, obviously, I was in for a surprise. It was all very real. I learned it. And fun fact, in that class was also his lovely wife, Emily. So I learned hypnosis at the same time. And some of the first little parties and shows that I did where I performed hypnosis. She came along and she did some stuff. I did some stuff. It's a lot of fun. I bring that up because after I learned hypnosis, I got insanely curious. I started reading every book I could get my hands on. And again, my ex was a performer. So at night she'd go in and do her show at the Flamingo, and I'd sit in the sports book and either read hypnosis books, or I had the benefit of the bar right outside their showroom where I could practice on an unlimited amount of willing tourists.
Mhm.
So the first few years of my career was walking around the bar going, hey, you guys want to see a magic trick? Oh, that was cool. Anybody here ever been hypnotized? And then practicing rapid inductions. And I practiced every one of them: butterfly induction, fall back induction, which I don't do anymore because I have a bad back.
Yeah.
I did it all. And when you get enough practice, you start to realize, all of it can be very effective, but it really depends on your environment and how you preface it and how well you've built rapport. And the technique of the rapid induction itself is, I think, secondary to building that rapport and et cetera. So which rapid induction is my favorite? I don't have a favorite because I don't do them anymore. I don't do them anymore because it's not impressive anymore. I feel like a lot of times rapid inductions are done to demonstrate the power of the hypnotist. And I don't sell myself to my audience as somebody that's powerful. I'm not here to make you get hypnotized. I'm here to guide you into it. And I do that also because on stage, we are going to have people that don't follow direction. It doesn't matter how many times you tell them, you lay it out, follow my instructions, this is going to be great, and then they don't do it. Okay, well, I got tired of looking like an idiot when somebody didn't get hypnotized. And I'm also not going to go up and spend 10 minutes forcing them into hypnosis. Now we're going to do a rapid induction. We're going to muscle you into it. Now you're going to close your eyes. You will comply. Get up, sit down, put your arm up, no. If you don't want to do it, go back to the audience. I just don't want to do that. But I have a few videos on my YouTube, and I don't post much, and they're older. They're about 10 years old, when I worked in nightclubs, hypnotizing the staff, rapid inductions. You can see them there, the fallback induction. I had one friend that was so great. I've got a video that's about 10 seconds. I walked up to her at a bar. We didn't discuss it in advance. I hadn't hypnotized her in weeks. I walked up to her at the bar. I put my finger in her ear. You couldn't even hear. The music was so loud. I snapped my fingers and she went into trance. So that's my rapid induction. It was about 3 seconds with no words spoken.
Flip that switch because
just flip the switch. She'd already done it 1,000 times. And I can post that and go, look how amazing I am.
Yeah.
It's not me. It's her. It's I really false advertising is a sore spot. We talked a little bit offline about stolen valor, right? It is a sore spot for me. And I see Be Hypnotized said rapid inductions are amazing. That's true. Have at it. Depends on what you're trying to accomplish. So for me,
do you do? And I'm going to throw this out here just as like a context.
Yeah.
Is there any type of like a rapid reinduction, or do you just rely on just, hey, go back to sleep in the middle of the show?
In the context of the show, occasionally I'll have somebody put themselves out. That's fun. And look at your finger out. Hypnotize the person next to you.
Yeah.
Sleep dust, sleep gun, all this stuff, sleep ball. It's all fun. But in my show, there's enough content where I don't need it. And I'm not saying that to be egotistical. I'm saying that because I've designed the show to always have something to offer. And if the show does have a lull, or if I'm having a particularly not interesting enough night or some lethargic volunteers, then I'll layer in some, you're going to hypnotize yourself. You're going to, here's some sleep dust. I did a lot of that stuff early in my career because it's what I had seen other hypnotists do. And I was super impressed by seeing rapid inductions and seeing the street stuff. And I wanted to experience all of it. There was a point where I was talking to Kevin Lapine. And I said to Kevin, hey, I was at this party and, this guy asked me to hypnotize him and this happened. And he said to me, he goes, okay, now that you're doing shows, this was years ago. Now that you're doing shows and getting paid to do shows, why are you performing for free at parties?
Yeah.
And I go, well, I need to practice. I need, it's fun. It's enjoyable. People like it. They want to see it. But as time went on and this became a career, 5, 6, sometimes 7 nights a week, I may go to the bar to have a beer after the show, and one of the bartenders will go, oh, this is my friend so-and-so. Can you hypnotize them? Yeah, I can, but I just punched out. I just punched the clock. I'm not working anymore. Like, I don't want to sit here at the bar and hypnotize your friend. I want to have a drink.
Yeah. You're like, I didn't bring W-2s and go, hey, you're an
Right.
accountant. Hey,
But
do my taxes real fast.
But it's not to say that I don't enjoy doing fun stuff, with friends, but there is a level of expectation. Hey, hypnotize my friend. Now I got to go over and do something with this person. And that could be 5 minutes or it could be 2 hours, and I don't want to do that anymore. I did that. I put in my 10,000 hours walking up and down the Vegas Strip,
Yeah.
entertaining tourists for free so I could get my reps in.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that, and I enjoyed it. And there's people doing it. Enjoy it. Have at it. I would love to go back out on the street just to film some content because we live in this digital age, and I'm not good at promoting myself enough through content. I need those videos to have 100,000 views, 500,000 views, 1 million views, because that's how I'm going to sell tickets. And I'm not good at doing that. So I should do that. So maybe I should go out and start doing some rapid inductions.
Yeah, no, that was one of the things that we wanted to do at PHS and back in January, but then we, just the schedule and trying to get enough people that were involved. They're like, okay, we can coordinate everything. And then, in January in Vegas, it's kind of hit and miss. Sometimes it's, or, year before last, it was super cold. It was like 36 degrees outside. And people were like, do you have coffee? No, we're going to keep walking.
So I kind of chastised everybody at PHS this year because they said, oh, it's so cold. And I said, I left minus 52.
Right. Yeah. You're from Canada. I mean, cold.
Oh, yes.
So let me throw the question back at you gentlemen. Rapid inductions. Who, what, when, where, and why? Talk to me, baby. I'm going to say one more thing before I cut you loose.
Of course.
It is fantastic to have them in your toolbox. And I think every hypnotist should. They should learn rapid inductions. They should practice them. They should understand them. And they should definitely be able to do them. And it will come in handy on stage when you need them. Okay. That's my opinion. Go. And
so the first time I was ever on stage, Jim let me do, I think we planned somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes. And when I was up on stage, I felt like I was there for about 30 seconds before he started giving me the, hey, it's time. But I was able to do a couple different things, and I did the silent induction, and that was fun just because everything else leading up to that throughout the show had been verbal. I'm giving you instructions, this, that, and the other. And then I was able to kind of turn that into a joke to be like, if you guys pay me enough money, I'll teach you how to do this to your kids. They'll learn to do their homework and clean their rooms and stuff like that. But it was without anything being spoken, I'm holding on to someone's hand, and it's, you're doing the breathing thing. And then all of a sudden it's like, they kind of get to see him kind of slow down. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, good night. And they just, flop right over.
Yeah. How cool is that, right?
Oh, you feel like a Harry Potter wizard. You're like,
yeah,
I'm a golden god.
Oh, it's great.
But I do have a question, but I'm going to let Shawn answer yours.
So for me, I don't do many rapid inductions. Like you, I've got enough content, and usually when I'm doing my show, it's the leader for magic and illusion show that comes right after. So we do a double header. So I'm very cognizant of time, and everything has to kind of line up and fit, lockstep. And there's usually not really any need for it. If I have the volunteers and I can, raise my hand and say sleep, when I need them to listen to a new instruction, that's that's usually amazing enough for most of my crowds. So
No, that's cool. I when I do the fractionalization, a lot of times at the end of technically the end of my induction, I do love to do a little eye roll thing, especially if I'm testing, if I'm looking for a rapid eye movement or things like that. I'll take my finger right in their face. I'll take their hand and I'll put my finger right here and I go focus on my finger, follow it as high as you can without moving your head, and I'll watch their eyes roll all the way back, and I'll actually just tell them close your eyes, and then I'll do a very gentle arm pull and say sleep, and watch people just collapse. So the whole eye roll thing is kind of cool, and I guess that is a form of a rapid induction, but they've already gone through 10 minutes before that, before I get to that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really just don't do them too much. I just saw the lady hypnotist in the chat.
Oh,
She's
Tina.
Yep.
Yeah. So she just did a training for a woman named Anne Marie, and Anne Marie is a entertainment director on a cruise ship, the Pride of America.
Anne Marie was with us at PHS.
Yeah, and Anne Marie was our box office person for for my very first season in Myrtle Beach. So we worked together for a season.
Nice.
Here in Myrtle Beach, yeah. And she told me she was learning hypnosis at that time. And she had worked on the ship with Charles, who I'm in Charles's theater here, the Wonders Theater. So, Hi, Christina J. We've never met, but hi. Now we met. We virtually met.
Yeah. No, Christina's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So she just did the training for Anne Marie. So it's exciting. I guess Anne Marie did some online stuff, and she's going to do her first show soon, which is cool. So
yeah, Anne Marie was pretty great too. Had a chance to. I didn't get a whole lot of time to chat with her because, putting on the conference, Shawn, Grant, and I were this way and
a
this
little
way.
busy.
But,
yeah.
But this isn't about me. It's about you as the guest, Steve. So
yes, it is. It is my night tonight. It is officially my night. And you know what? I really appreciate you remembering that.
No, it's.
But Anne Marie, that first season, got to see me on stage about 100 times, which is cool. I mean, she's not going to do the same style that I'm doing, which is a little racy. And my stage character is quite a bit different than hers, but I'm excited to see where she goes with it.
Yeah, because I had a chance to meet you for the first time. Were you at PHS at the Orleans when we did it?
I came. No, I came.
You came
I think 2 years ago to see Kevin. It was whenever Kevin was presenting. Maybe that was at the Orleans. It was at the Orleans, I think, wasn't it? I don't know. Whenever Kevin was presenting, I came.
Because not a month or two ago, January, but the year prior, it was right after Jim passed. You did your show at that cool speakeasy bar.
Okay, yeah, I came. I had come prior to that as well.
Okay, yeah. So the
previous year.
Yeah, so I met you the first.
What was I wearing? What was I wearing?
I don't remember the first time. It was.
Tell me what I was wearing. Pants.
You came in. Yes. You.
A shirt. I had a shirt that year. Remember?
Yep. Okay. But you did.
You only have to deal with this for an hour. My wife deals with this 24/7.
She signed on the dotted line, so zero sympathy for her.
Lucky woman.
But no, it was awesome that you stepped in, you interacted with everybody, but then you invited us out to your show, and it was.
I wish that show had been better.
So
the circumstances surrounding the shows that in that small room were not fantastic.
That's what I was going to say. I was like the content and everything of the show was amazing, but then you also have the
top notch.
You have the coefficient of you've got a group of hypnotists in the room.
That wasn't the problem.
Plus about 6 other people, so everybody wanted to watch you perform.
That wasn't even the issue. The issue was
because that one was like a last minute change, right?
Previous year, I had been on the big side.
Yeah,
big side, and when I did the show in the little room, it was Ledger Domain that was in there, and they had it was a magic show, and they had everything set up a certain way, and I was only in there for a couple of nights, and I had to be very careful not to move stuff around. There wasn't a lot of capacity. Marketing for that wasn't great. We didn't sell a lot of tickets. I papered the room, which for those who don't know is comps. I gave away a lot of comps. There's services in Vegas, seat fillers. I invited a lot of friends, and a lot of people didn't show up. They couldn't find it. We had people that came because I was in that room, which is in the speakeasy is hidden, and then it's a hidden room in a hidden room.
Yeah.
I had people that were there for the show that were out having cocktails, not realized that the show had started. So it was just a mess. It was a mess. I mean, but I'm also my own worst critic, so it was good enough. It's fun. It's fun.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and that speaks to your professionalism, is that you're like, okay, I'm going to take this, and it's like we all knew, a lot of challenges that you had to overcome, but you were still able to have a hilarious show. Especially the ending, and I'm just going to leave it at that. But yeah, I mean,
no spoilers, right?
Right. And so it's a family friendly show, but
no, it's not. No, it's not.
No, this one is.
This
yeah,
one.
The live
tonight.
broadcast. So, but kind of going back to, circling back to one of the things that you talked about is getting permission to do different bits and everything. And there was one, where there's a pet and a certain name and everything. And I was like, dude, that was just super funny to me. And I was like, hey, do you mind if I do that? Like in a certain, and you very professionally, you were like, hey, it's kind of something that I've worked really hard on it. And, I'd like to kind of keep it that way. And I'm like, hey, that's totally fair. But you're like, I will take time to talk with you and kind of war game out like how you could do something similar and kind of make it your own.
Yeah. So I don't know if you can see in the background, this is a little bookshelf, and you can't see the books, but a little further down, I have some books here, and oh man, where is it? Oh, there's Richard Nongard's book, The New Encyclopedia Stage Hypnotism, which I have a funny story about that book if you guys are interested. But I have, it's here somewhere, Terry Stokes' book. This one? Yeah. For anybody that doesn't have this. You guys have this book in your collection?
I don't yet.
You guys are speechless. I had.
Is it signed?
Yes, I had Terry sign it, and
there you go. Now it's valuable.
And I asked Terry to sign it. To my greatest inspiration, thanks for all the help over the years. And he signed it to Steve, God bless. So he didn't exactly do what I asked him to do. But when I read this book, he really stressed, you do not want to just copy other hypnotists. You want to be original, and you want to learn to write material. And there are concepts and ideas. I mean, they say that everything's already been done 1,000 times, right? Okay, well, a lot of people, if you're doing an adult show, which not everybody watching this does an adult show, but if you're doing an adult show, maybe you do hey, I'm naked now, right? Like Kevin, I don't know if he's still doing it in the show, but Kevin had I'm naked in the front, now I'm naked in the back kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I do one too. It's, it's just hallucinations, right? You're hypnotized. You're going to get hallucinations. I do dick in the box. Nobody else is doing it. I don't want anybody else doing that. That's what I do. I came up with that. It's similar type of material that other people are doing, but I'm doing the one that I do. I created that. And I didn't create dick in the box, but I'm using that, using license from that and doing certain dances, and there's jokes that I wrote around it and things like that. But that's my bit. Now, if I see another hypnotist doing dick in the box, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah.
And I see, Anthony did a routine every night in his show. I don't know what he called it, but it was Ring of Fire. He played Ring of Fire by Johnny Cash. And then the idea is that the person, their bum
hot seat
was burning a little bit, and that they would have to scoot across the stage to pull it off. And I've seen other people do that. And I go, you got to be kidding me. Like, what? You're just stealing. I've seen people do Mark Savard's show almost word for word. Every time I see them go, oh, you forgot your name. It's E-I-E-I-O. You're going to get really mad if I call you anything other than E-I-E-I-O. Well, that's Mark Savard. Why are you doing it?
Yeah.
You know? Why are you doing that? So there's a lot of that going on.
So
And
it's not necessarily, hey, you forgot your name, because
a lot
that's
of
an
people
easy
do
bit
that
to
bit.
do, but
Anthony,
when you're tying it into that specific
if
EIEIO
you're
joke,
doing somebody else's routine, I mean, Anthony
Yeah.
came up with, you forgot your name, and you'll only remember it when you sing happy birthday to yourself.
Mhm.
I see other hypnotists doing that routine and posting it online. They're proud of it.
Mhm.
You didn't write that. You just stole it. You saw somebody else do it and you just took it for yourself.
Mhm.
Don't do that. I think people that are coming into this new, and even people that come to the conventions that are participating, I think that this is the type of theme to remind people to be original. I do some content that is similar to something that Terry Stokes did.
Mhm.
So again, they're all adults here. I'll clean it up a little bit. Terry Stokes had a very funny routine where he'd have a grown man masturbate a teddy bear. I thought that was hilarious.
Goodbye to your TikTok account, Shawn.
Bleep it out.
That's a medical term.
Medical term. It actually is. Okay. I wanted to do that in my show. So I called Terry and asked him for permission.
Mhm.
And I do it completely differently, but it was an idea that I got from him. I'm not just going to do it unless I talk to him about it first. And he was very kind, and he said, you're the first person who's ever asked to do
Right.
anything. So have at it.
Yeah.
Right?
And
I had another hypnotist, and I won't mention who they are, tell me, and it wasn't Anthony Cools. I had another hypnotist tell me, oh, well, you're so big on people stealing material, yet you're doing Terry's bit in your show. Yeah, I asked him.
Right.
Pretty simple. Pretty simple. So I do some of Anthony's stuff, a little bit, not too much. It's funny because Anthony Cools hasn't had an opportunity to really see me perform start to finish in 5 years.
Mhm.
And he got that opportunity last week in Vegas.
Now, is he still performing, or has he retired?
Retired.
Okay.
Yeah, he's retired.
So in a way, it's kind of him giving you his blessing is a way for his material to kind of live on.
A little bit. But we had a conversation after the show, and he said, actually, it was great to see that it was mostly your stuff.
Mhm.
I think some of our mutual friends coming to see my show last week really expected me to do some chopped up version of his show, and it's completely different. It's my show. I think we should all have our own show.
Yeah. Personalizing it to your style, but taking it from what the basic idea is and adapting it and molding it is huge. Brian and I wrote a skit for Christmas that basically had Santa Claus crashing into a car dealership with the sleigh and Mrs. Claus beside him, and needing to buy a new vehicle. And now the setup is we've got a salesperson, and the elves are trying to fix the sleigh, and Mrs. Claus is saying absolutely not. And I ran that same skit 3 times in 3 different shows.
Yeah.
Mrs. Claus was the one that drove away with the Lamborghini. Santa had to drive the broken sleigh back to the North Pole. Except in the last show, she Mrs. Claus at least negotiated for an extra Lamborghini for Santa. So, and why Lamborghinis? I have no idea. Like, the cool car for us back in the day would have been Magnum's Ferrari.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah,
I had a show where and I've used this skit a couple of times now because I've refined it, but where the race is Ferraris down a mountain, and the Magnum PI theme is there. Along with all the good engine noises and whatnot, and I can drive them through, oh, it's a populated area, slow down, and they're busy downshifting, But I worked with that a couple of times. It's not just the basic. I'm out, get your motor running and head out on the highway that so many people do. That is kind of the basis for that. You're racing down the side of a volcano because you're in Hawaii, and you better win, because if you don't, you're gonna burn. And
yeah,
at the end of the day,
floor is lava, the ultimate diversion.
Well, and at the end of the day, you asked him, "How's the car?" And one of the guys said, "Well, the door fell off." I said, "Do you have insurance?" I was supposed to have insurance.
Yeah, we didn't cover this in the terms and conditions.
But it's those types of personalizations that when you get comfortable doing those sets, and you improvise on kind of that same idea, you can really develop your own show. On the basic ideas.
Yeah, I mean, we're all gonna do hallucination. It smells good. It smells bad. It's hot. It's cold. It's this. It's that. I mean, how many different things are you gonna do? But it's the story or the idea of the sketch that you're doing, and not only that, but the execution. How talented of a performer are you to make sure that no matter what the volunteers do, that the show's still entertaining? No matter how they react or what they say, good, bad, or indifferent, does the audience still enjoy it? And if you're calling yourself a comedy hypnotist, the audience should be laughing their ass off the whole time. Period. And not just because the volunteers were funny. I want to generalize and say I think every comedy hypnotist should learn to perform comedy. I was exceptionally lucky when I started my career. I worked with and around some unbelievable comedians in Vegas and had access to them and their shows every night. I got to see Vinny Favorito, for anybody who knows who that is, dealing with hecklers, and he was unbelievable. My friend Nancy Ryan and her husband John Bazar, who was on the Tonight Show, and they work every night on the Strip. And if I had a question, I could ask. If I needed advice, I could ask. If I needed to understand how to deliver a joke, all I had to do was watch, and I had access to that. Get him over here now. Get him back. I need to talk to that man. But I had access to all these resources that really helped me hone things, because the comedic timing and the delivery is paramount for me in the show. It's as important, if not more important, than the hypnosis segment. When we market this type of show, and again, I'm just speaking from my own personal experience, so anybody can watch this, take what you want from it, agree, disagree, doesn't matter to me. I know what works for me. When I market this show, I don't market it as a hypnosis show, because when you tell the average Joe Blow on the street, would you like to see a hypnosis show? That person immediately is going to say, I'm not going to therapy. What do I want to see somebody get hypnotized for? I'm not going to do that. I don't want to see somebody get hypnotized. It's boring. The average Joe will not know what a hypnosis show is if that's what you're selling. You're selling a hypnosis show? Okay, no thanks. I did I hate saying I did. I performed a corporate show last night in Raleigh for a corporate client. The client had seen me perform previously at a corporate event, loved it, said, I'm going to bring this in for my people. Okay. 60 people. And last night was a last minute booking. We just booked it a couple of weeks ago. He did not follow my protocol. I found out in the afternoon that he had not announced the entertainment to these people that had been in and out of conference all day. And I worked hard to correct the errors of his way. He said, no, we thought it'd be more fun as a surprise. Well, I understand that, but our agreement is this, and here's why. You need to let them know at the end of the next segment that you have entertainment tonight, and it is a comedy hypnosis show. And I said, do not select people that must participate. Well, what if we don't get enough people? Leave that to me. I'm good at this.
Yeah.
Don't select people. So they announced that they had a hypnotist, not a comedy show, not a comedy hypnotist. We have a hypnotist tonight. And you are going to select one person from each table to participate. I mean, it was the exact opposite of what I told them. Now, as I'm waiting to go on, they're doing their awards, and the chief operating officer says to the room, in just a moment, we've got a hypnotist who's going to completely embarrass you. So let's get the awards over with so we can get to that. And I was telling my wife, every single thing that I either told them not to do or common sense not to do, they have set me up for failure in every possible way they can without realizing it. And I went out and did the show. And of course, I'm going to tell you, it's a great show. It was a great show. It was a great show. The feedback I received after the show, and this is the reason for this whole long story. The feedback that I received after the show, there was a common theme. This was fantastic. We loved it. I never laughed so hard. All the stuff we hear all the time. But the thing that caught me was I really didn't want to have to sit through this, but I'm so glad I did because that was great. And that was a theme that I heard at least from 3 or 4 individuals speaking to me separately. When they told me there was a hypnotist, I wanted nothing to do with it, but that was a lot of fun. I set up, I want to say 16 chairs.
It's like in the military. When they go mandatory fun, you're like, fuck.
Yeah, thanks for that. I set up 16 chairs, and the CEO who hired me, his assistant who was helping me throughout the day, she said, I don't think you should put that many chairs. We're probably just going to get a handful of people. And I said, now, negative Nancy, that's a horrible attitude. Set up the chairs and let me do what I do. And we filled every one of those chairs, and we had an unbelievable show. It really was a lot of fun. But just the perception of what we do and what it is, what it looks like, what it's going to be, what's going to happen, just sometimes everything is working against you, no matter how. It doesn't matter what's in your contract. That guy up there is nervous. He's going to make whatever comments, whatever jokes he wants to make, and then you got to clean up the mess.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry. What was the question again? My favorite color is blue.
No, but it is almost time for the friend or frenemy question. Let us know in the chat. Don't spoil the surprise.
Oh yeah, place your bets, everybody.
Interesting.
I'm looking through the chat here real quick, and I saw Becca's thing about a teddy bear and her living in England. I'm like, oh, she's never going to look at Paddington Bear the same.
and my teddy bear is about 4 feet tall. His name is Barry. And I tell the audience that I'm going to bring out, I've got a stand-up comedian friend. He's on tour. I told him he can come out and do a couple of minutes. You may have seen that he was arrested recently, but he's fighting the charges. He's a good guy. He deserves a shot. And I bring him out. It's a big stuffed teddy bear. Big life-size teddy bear.
4 foot tall. So, Becca, we found somebody that you're taller than.
There you go. And he's wearing my shirt that I sell after the show.
Oh, nice.
All right, I can say, am I supposed to be able to see the comments when they say whether they're friend or wait?
Yep.
Yeah, so they know the question.
Okay, gotcha.
So it's like a card trick, it's okay for you to see the card. They've written their name on the front of it, so it's unique.
All right.
So going back to what, or kind of piggybacking off of what the story you just shared, where they did everything that you told them not to do.
Yeah.
Is there ever a time when like there is a breach of contract like so egregious that you would be like, no, we're not doing the show tonight?
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry, my wife is texting me. You'll never believe what we're talking about. First week, no.
He texted back the red one.
Yeah, no. In the very beginning of my career, this only happened a couple times. In the very beginning of my career, I booked a show. Yeah, you'll never look at Paddington Bear the same, especially when he's not wearing his little hat or his raincoat. Sorry, I was I booked it. I booked a show on Gig Masters, which is now, what is it? The Bash,
like the Bash or something,
and
or Gig Salad something.
yeah, it was in L.A. for a some big investment firm.
Okay.
And they pulled the same nonsense. It was a surprise, and I walked out there, and it was the very beginning of my career. And I used to carry magic tricks with me, which some hypnotists do. In case you don't have a good hypnosis show, you can give them some kind of entertainment. And I went out and did a couple of magic tricks, and I did the finger test, and I tried to get volunteers, and nobody would come up. And I got 2 or 3 people, nobody got hypnotized. And, I managed to thread together an hour of pure torture for me and everyone in the room. And then still got a nice review. But that is a show at this point in my career, I wouldn't have done it. I mean, I could do it. I feel I do a much better job with it now, but I don't need that kind of aggravation in my life. You brought me here to entertain, and if you just cut me off at the knees, why are you tripling my workload? Just do what I ask you to do, and we're going to have a great time. And if you can't comply, I don't want to do it. But yesterday was a different story because I told them what they needed to do, and they at least made an attempt. They made a poor attempt, but they made an attempt. And, I'm a lot more confident at this point in my career that I'm not afraid of anything on stage anymore because I've seen so much. I mean,
right.
It's just a job. It's fun. It's fun sometimes, but it's just a job.
Because I'm curious when, kind of like what you were talking about earlier of, you're not performing for free, you're not just a seal that, barks on command.
Yeah.
But it's how much do you value your time and go, do we train the client almost of like, look, if you don't do these things, it's a breach. Like, I'm still going to collect my money. You're not getting your deposit back or whatever. And I've heard different schools of thought of, don't burn a bridge because then people just sit there and talk shit about you and nobody else will hire you. But at the same time, if you sit there and go, if nobody's going to comply, why do we even have contracts? And the show's still going to go on.
I will be happy to give any client every penny of their non-refundable deposit back. I don't need your money. I don't need your aggravation. We're entering into this because we are trying to provide entertainment. If we're doing a corporate, which I don't do a lot of corporates anymore. I've got a select few that I do, and I enjoy them. But none of us are there for aggravation. We're there for fun. You're trying to provide this evening of entertainment, and I want to be the greatest entertainment you've ever had. I want your employees or your guests to say, that was unbelievable what we just did. We want that again and again and again. I love this. That's the goal. If the circumstances don't warrant that, then we have done something wrong.
And it's kind of also like, please do not fight me on this, because if you do these things, I guarantee you it's going to have an adverse impact on the show, and none of us want that.
Yeah, this is what I do for a living, and here's the formula. That's it. Here's the formula.
Sometimes people overthink the formula, though, and
Well, sometimes people hand you the keys to the race car and then let the air out of the tires.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Sorry, I've been watching a lot of NASCAR lately. An exceptional amount. I might go to Vegas this weekend because the races are there.
Well, and you got friends and stuff out there, so
are they really friends? How do we know?
I don't know.
Are the friends in the room with me now?
I'm not privy to the voices that you may or may not hear.
Somebody said that to me today, and I said, I'm never alone. There's always me, myself, and I.
Yeah.
So one of the things I say, when I'm, there's another light. Is that too bright? That's fun. I'm playing with my lights. Okay. No, that's too much. I'm sorry. I apologize. One of the when I'm making my disclaimers to the audience, who I want on stage, who I don't want on stage. One of them is if you take pills every day to regulate your moods, you've been off your meds, etc. And I say, or if you've got 2 or 3 different personalities currently arguing with each other in your mind while I'm speaking to you, work that out at home. I'm giving you the clean version.
Yeah.
This is a comedy show, not a counseling session.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, Kevin does
a race car. Who's got a race car? I hear that.
Oh, we were supposed to get a bunch of snow today, and it ended up being dry. So in Seattle, we're going into garbage weather for the next week. So everybody on a motorcycle is going to go rip by the house.
You've got vehicles roaring outside. You got roommates walking in and out of the frame. You got more stuff going on in that house. This house is boring. All I got is my wife nagging me because I haven't taken her to dinner yet. I'm sorry, guys.
That's okay. Tell her you'll be available in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to bug out of here. I'm having a great time. I'm enjoying you guys.
The cool thing is we can always invite you back.
I was going to say we can have a part 2.
All right.
Because you've got a lot of knowledge to share, and we always appreciate you taking the time to to come and join us on these things.
Thank you.
But yeah, you were I had a great question, and then we squirreled off onto the noises and stuff. But come on, Shawn, help me out here. I do not possess the social skills right now to.
I think it's time for the friend or frenemy question.
That's a great idea. So
okay. So how does this work? Explain to me the rules of the game.
So you answer a single question, yes or no, true or false, however whichever one applies. So this is not. So for the context, this is not if it's there at somebody's house, I'll eat it. This is okay. You are ordering online. You're at the pizza shop on the phone. You're ordering your pizza.
Okay.
In your opinion, does pineapple belong on pizza, or is it sacrilegious?
Didn't Jim hate pineapple on pizza?
That's how the question was born.
Fair enough. See, I pay attention. All right. I have enjoyed a slice of Hawaiian pizza from time to time. However, I am not a fan. No. Don't pizza. Did I get it right?
You got it right.
Yep, you're part of the cool kids club.
Becca is.
Becca, don't you start that bullshit.
Yes.
The good news is I'm sure I can find a cricket sound to upload here too, and we can have some fun with that.
Shawn, please don't steal my bit.
No. It'll be a Canadian cricket. It'll have a French accent.
I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, like, how did Steve get all the sound effects powers and everything? And I didn't. But
yeah, buddy. I've got my own Rodecaster Pro 2. And I'm using that as my sound card, which is why I'm using my beautiful Shure SM7B.
All right, now we need to monetize.
All right, Becca says you're a friend. You can stay.
Outstanding. Thank you.
Except that he does have to go because, like I did say off the top, he did just fly in, and he's got to get some food before he passes out.
All right, speed round.
He's still on West Coast time though. But
yeah, no, because I was in the Midwest, so I'm caught in the middle. Speed round. Give me a couple questions. Come on, let me fire them off. Quick fire.
All right, you heard it from him, folks. Throw your questions in there.
My books are falling down. Sorry, I'll be back. Do we still have an audience?
Yes, I think so.
Actually, it's been quite active, the audience back and forth in the various chats, which is good.
Cool.
So what were you doing before Hypnosis, and what was it strictly just the opposing schedules between you and your ex-wife that really
100%.
kind of prompted you? Okay.
100%. I had a warehouse and I was an electronics importer. I was importing security equipment CCTV cameras and magnetic locks and things like that. And also, I had started another business. I started a brand of stage lighting for DJs and showrooms and things like that. And that's actually how I met my ex, because I started doing business with some of the casinos in Vegas and working in the different showrooms, becoming friends with producers and assisting on different productions. And fun fact, I was the technical director for several different shows on the Strip. I used to joke that if there's a showroom in Vegas that's 200 seats or less, I have touched that showroom in some way or form. I worked there. They bought lighting from me. I installed sound. Whatever
You helped out with some sound and some stuff from the first conference.
I don't think I did. I may have lent something or offered to lend something. I do that often.
Yeah, I think we needed something, and if I recall correctly, you were the guy that came in and was like, you kind of Superman saved the day. But that was before I was responsible for anything.
It is possible. It is possible. Yeah, so that's, I still have a lot of AV equipment, and I have some clients in Vegas. If anybody's ever been to the downtown Summerlin holiday parade that they put on every year, which is a big thing in Vegas, my guys put up all the sound and the snow machines every year for that. This was the first year that we didn't, because I just don't want to do it anymore. But we've done that for years for the Howard Hughes Corporation, and I still work with a lot of different venues and a couple of different shows in Vegas. But I mean, I've gotten to do some really cool stuff just working for other people and being a part of their productions. I automated several shows in Vegas 10, 15 years ago where they had multiple people manually queuing tracks, and I started installing show control for some of these shows. And I've gotten to do some pretty cool stuff. And I even got to write a guest article in Robin Leach's weekly article that he used to write when he was still alive. For those of you who know Robin Leach, Lifestyles of the Rich and the Famous, I got to do that.
That was one of my better impressions.
Yeah.
Do you
Robin Leach? Yeah.
Do you still do the AV stuff? You said you started
I do, but very very little now. I've tried really hard to get away from that because it's so time consuming, and I'm very fortunate that I have turned stage hypnosis into a career. This is my full-time job, which is awesome because it's what I set out to do, and I accomplished that, and I'm very proud of it.
And what's your favorite? What's your go-to tool that you use for all of your sound cues and stuff on stage, or all the audio programming?
QLab.
And then do you do the lighting separately if there is a larger theater, or do you just...
So yeah, in the theater that I'm in now, the Wonders Theater, they have their own lighting rig, and I have QLab triggering all of the light cues on the board. A few sound effects, a few sound cues, things like that. We haven't really talked about it, but for the first 6 months of 2023, I performed my own magic and mentalism show at the 1923 Speakeasy at Mandalay Bay. So there's a great show there it's called Ghost Stories with Ken Axel. He came in when I left. And it was a good show. It was successful. I left to come back to Myrtle Beach to support this show. I can't do both.
Yeah.
But in that show, I was running QLab with a multi-output sound interface, and the idea was to put speakers around the room so I could trigger different sound effects and cues that would come from different places in the room. Especially, my forte really is comedy, so I did a seance portion, but it was very tongue-in-cheek. But to have sounds come in from under chairs and behind chairs, when you're dealing with the spirits, I had different lighting effects that were being cued from QLab, but it's really kind of the standard, for show control. And
that's interesting.
Really great. Yeah, QLab's really great. And when I saw the true capabilities of QLab is when Piff, the Magic Dragon, came into the showroom where my ex-wife's show was. And he was using it to do live video. He had some wireless and close-up GoPros and things that were streaming through there. A lot of effects, some projection mapping with it. And I was like, wow, he's really, as John Vanderput, he really has shown me the capabilities of this software. It's really awesome stuff you can do with QLab, depending on how deep you want to dig.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Don't you share the name of his older brother?
Yeah, Steve. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now I'm thinking about. I'm like, wait a minute. And I was doing the bit in my head, and I was like,
Piff is actually one of my all-time favorites. When he hit America's Got Talent, I think that was it was different enough to keep him going almost to the final. And there were a couple of other guys there that were also magicians, and then they also had Tape Face, so it was really kind of an eclectic mix.
Yeah, I know Sam Tape Face, and I met John just before he did America's Got Talent, just before he blew up. In fact, Mr. Piffles unfortunately has passed away a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But Tui, who was the second Chihuahua, was the first backup. I used to dog sit Tui with my ex whenever John would tour. So we had Tui in our little pack of dogs every now and then. I think Tui is performing on stage now.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, yeah, that was a little Tui, the new Mr. Piffles, Mr. Piffles Jr.
I was going to say he would have to have a little bit of a name change.
Yeah.
Were you involved with any of the illusionist shows like Dan Sperry and oh God, who else was I thinking about?
I didn't do anything with their shows. I met Dan actually for the first time, I think last year at the Magic Convention here in Myrtle Beach.
Mm-hmm.
We know the same people, but that was the first time we'd met. He came down and did a segment in it. But I've worked with.
He seems like he's a pretty down to earth.
Yeah, he was cool. His stuff is really interesting. I got to work with Xavier Mortimer in Vegas. If you guys know Xavier, he's super talented, and I helped light some of his stuff while he was at Planet Hollywood. Very, very cool. And Caleb Alexander, who's a young guy who's coming up, and he's doing a lot of TV, Masters of Illusion. He's doing Magic Castle and stuff like that. He's a good friend of mine. He's come out here a couple times. I hooked up with him, see him in Vegas. Mm-hmm. And actually, the only time I went and saw Copperfield, he set that whole thing up. We were at Copperfield's table. Yeah. So.
And that's people in the entertainment industry. It seems kind of hit and miss on this. It tends to be like one extreme to the other from what I've noticed on my very, very little experience, but is that they're either super kind of full of themselves and arrogant, or they're like, hey, how can I help you out? And they're very giving of their time.
Almost every performer that I've known in Vegas has been completely welcoming and generous. Mm-hmm. And there's a couple that haven't, but most
we're not going to name names, but
yeah, I don't need to name names, but most performers have been unbelievably generous, at least with their time or their kindness or friendship,
or it's a lot of just kind of like, hey, I like seeing people's faces light up and everything. Like I know Kevin took us out, a handful of us, after it was the second conference. Mm-hmm. And we kind of wrapped up the conference. So Grant and Joe Beth and we went up on top of Mandalay Bay, and he was just like, hey, walks out on the terrace, and he's like, gentlemen, welcome to Las Vegas. And I'm like,
yeah, the foundation room. That's pretty cool up there.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, this is how we can, building those relationships and everything, that, you're not a dick to people, mm-hmm. and they want to help you out. You mm-hmm. take care of them, you treat them nicely, because you never know when you either need to return that favor or, do
you gotta be careful which bridges you burn.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. So some of them are worth. You'd pour the extra gas on it just
that
to.
Guy sounds fast. Wow, what is that? Ooh, that was fast.
Could have been a lawnmower. It is the West Coast.
Yeah. No, I'll jump on a phone call with you on a different day and do the Google Maps of where I live, because I parallel.
You're on a main drag. You're on a main drag. Yeah, no, I get it.
So it's kind of
I
a
know.
shortcut that people do, and so it goes down the hill and then kind of comes up and down, and so people are like, it's the roller coaster hill.
I already have your address. I've done my research.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't have your address, but
Say only half of what you've been told is true.
yeah.
But
Which half? The good half or the bad half?
yeah, it's subject to interpretation. So kind of with the lightning round, what are some things that you wish that you knew when you started this hypnosis endeavor?
Oh, that's deep. That's not the lightning round question. That's something you should have sent me 2 weeks ago. I could have figured that out. All right, here's a nugget.
Yeah.
Performing in Las Vegas or claiming to have performed in Las Vegas is not the brass ring that everyone makes it out to be, because there are a lot of other markets where you can make a very handsome living doing what we do that's not Las Vegas. And another absolute pet peeve, if you are performing on stage in front of the Welcome to Las Vegas sign, why? Why? If you haven't done it, why is that your marketing? It's not as impressive as you think.
Mm-hmm.
If you're claiming to have headlined a show on the Strip, then show the receipts. When, where, how? And if you didn't, don't pretend like you did.
Mm-hmm.
You're just setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
So, I think at the beginning of my career, just like most people, I was dead set. I got to perform in Vegas because I'm going to, be in a casino and have a show, and it's going to be great. Now, all my friends had shows in Vegas casinos. This seemed like the career path. And that is such a limited scope for just a select few people. And there's shows that open and close in Vegas every few months. They open, they close, they die.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So having a successful show anywhere, I think, is a real testament to success. And pretending that you had a show somewhere is really just, again, stolen valor.
Yeah. And, that's, I can relate to that because when I was in the military, I was a support guy in a special operations unit.
Okay.
And so I went to Texas one time to visit some friends, and I got introduced to my friend's mom, and she knew a little bit about me. And so she's running around. We went out to the bar and she's like, "Oh, this is my son's friend, Brian. He was special forces." And I'm like, time out. I was a support guy.
Right.
and we got to do some cool training and stuff alongside them. But I do not hold myself out to be some like ninja commando guy. And I try to be very deliberate about that.
Mm-hmm.
And that definitely resonates with me. Like you said, don't go claiming that you've done things that you haven't.
Right. And my pet peeve is silly compared to your pet peeve. The sacrifice of service, I mean, that's real. I'm talking about getting on stage and telling some jokes.
Oh, yeah.
But I say stolen valor because that's a term that people can recognize,
Yeah.
Stop pretending to be something that you're not. I understand in marketing, you have to pump yourself up a little bit. And you read, Shawn, some of my marketing in the beginning and said, headline the show here and there. I've got the video. I got the proof. I got the receipts. I did that. I was very lucky to do that. I'm very happy to use that in my marketing, but I see marketing all the time. People presenting themselves as something that they haven't necessarily earned. Another one is master hypnotist. I asked ChatGPT one point, what qualifies you as a master hypnotist?
Yeah.
And there is no, sorry, now my dogs are going to go crazy because my wife's there is no certification. You are a master hypnotist. So what's the criteria that we go by? If you took a weekend class and booked a couple of shows at the local comedy club, I'm sorry, you haven't mastered anything yet. Go do your 10,000 hours. Go hypnotize 5, 10, 20,000 people. You're going to get pretty good after you do that. But until you've done that, you are not a master of anything. The other thing is hypnotists, they take their class and they go, well, not only can I do this and tell jokes, but now I can be a therapist. No, you can't. No, you can't. You're not a therapist. What do you know about therapy?
That's like Washington State. I looked up just out of curiosity, as what are the requirements to have a hypnotherapy license, and it basically says take training and or belong to some type of like an NGH, Aisha professional organization. Sure. And I went, sure. What metrics or like benchmarks do you have to demonstrate proficiency in?
None of it is accredited.
Yeah, it was like there's nothing there. But then, being in the legal field, I know that if somebody makes a claim, like they will fry you in half a minute.
We know from learning hypnosis and learning to perform hypnosis that if done unethically or inappropriately, you can cause some real trauma and damage.
Oh, for sure.
So now all of a sudden you're a therapist dealing with people who already have trauma and damage. Good luck. It's just I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't like it. I want to share one other thing before I go, because it's important to me. And if you guys have a chance to bring me back, I'll come back anytime. This is fun. I enjoy talking to you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know how many people will see this or if they're going to enjoy it or stick this long, because I tend to be long-winded, but I did enjoy it. But one thing that's really bothered me recently, and I mentioned a little bit when we were talking on the phone earlier today, looking up different hypnotists on YouTube and seeing the work that they post that they're proud of. This is what I do. And I saw a performer who was performing for high school teens, which, let's be honest, these are children.
Yep.
And did a routine telling them that they were naked, completely inappropriate. The suggestion included terms that you are completely humiliated, also highly inappropriate. Then use this as an opportunity. Every time he said the word exercise, they would have to get up and do jumping jacks, presumably naked in front of their peers. I cannot think of anything more traumatizing than for a high school student than to have to do jumping jacks naked in their mind in front of all their classmates.
Yeah. And this is a far cry from everybody's had the dream. Oh, I woke up and late and I ran to school and I forgot to put on my pants.
Dream it yourself. You're a middle-aged pervert who's been given access to children that you clearly should not be trusted around. And not only that, but you're so proud of what a powerful hypnotist you are that you're posting this to demonstrate the quality of your work.
And that's the stuff where I'm like, fire up the wood chipper.
If my teen had been on that stage, that guy would leave on a stretcher. There's no way.
You're going to consume your meals through a straw for the rest of your life.
And people like that not only are going to create a lot of problems for themselves and for those kids and for that school, but they're going to close doors that otherwise should be open to performers. I've performed plenty of high school shows, and that is a privilege to be able to do that. And it's a lot of fun, and the kids love it, and the faculty love it. I have a school that I go back to every year. I've only got one high school that I go back to every year now because it's in Northern California, and it's beautiful, and it's by the beach, and it's a great time, and it pays well, and everybody's happy. And these kids look forward to it the entire year. They know, grad night, we're doing this because my big brother did it 3 years ago. My sister did it. I cannot imagine going there and absolutely humiliating these children or treating them like they're consenting adults to imagine that they're naked in front of the room and doing physical activity. Just the looks on those kids' faces, they were horrified. And this guy's smiling and just having a good time. And I've seen the terms come up on the chat groups, that we have, our Facebook groups and all this, where people go, we need to self-police. How do we do that? This is and again, this is referencing another conversation that you and I had offline, Brian. But like, as far as the altruism and sharing of knowledge and bringing people in, where is the filter to keep the bad people out?
And I was thinking about that when when we got off the phone, because we both had to go take care of things today, is I was giving it some thought, and I was like, you know what? If people with your pedigree, your knowledge, your experience, you bring a lot to the table. That's knowledge. You know, you talk about or you hear about the SEAL Team 6 guys, DJ Shipley, the GBRS group. They talk about knowledge transfer, and it's like, we want to make as many people capable to do good things in this world, and that's how we bring about change. Is that also at these conferences, when you show up, how you conduct yourself, how you get to know people, what are they about? You know, if you find somebody that's absolutely acting like a clown when they're demonstrating, you know, predatory behavior, those types of things, that word is going to get around. But at the same time, when you go out and you get, you know, folks like yourself that say, hey, you know what, we actually found some talent. This is somebody who's worth, you know, helping up and edify, uplift them, help them realize their dream. Because, you know, like Kevin says, he stood on the shoulders of giants, and you know, he
I've done
tells
the
us,
same.
yeah, and now it's like, okay, you guys have been doing this long enough that you guys are now the giants that other people are going to rely on to help the rest of us up. And I think there's, like you talked about, you know, you asked the question, hey, why volunteer my time to, you know, go and speak and teach or you know, do a presentation? And it was like altruism. What's the greater good? And you know, I mean this sincerely. You know, you have been given a gift, and you know, sharing that gift with as many people as you can, and just even on your stage doing a comedy show. I remember it was almost after every time that I went out with Jim to help out, whether I was just running the camera or not, that people would come up afterwards and they would go, hey, can hypnosis be used for insert life struggle here?
Mm-hmm. I get that all the
Yeah,
time.
here's a card. Or, you know what, this person would be really great. You know, you're making those connections.
Mm-hmm.
And I think inspiring people to follow their dreams and everything, you know, you're the living proof that these things can happen. Because when I first started doing hypnosis, it was just something I was curious about. And Jim took me out and was like, yeah, here, I'll kind of show you the basics. And then we took Justin James's class because he happened to be in Seattle, and, you know, very reasonable price. And I remember Justin was talking to me afterwards, and he says, okay, I've given you little like nuggets and everything. It's like I have just given you this like super razor sharp samurai sword. You can help a lot of people doing great things, or you can get yourself in a lot of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Like, please don't do stupid things.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've been fortunate.
And he's been a great advocate. I mean, he's very outspoken, so he's been a great advocate for self-policing. And, you know,
we did the Stay on Stage, and then he was doing some work with like insurance stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I talked with him, I think last week. We kind of connected, and so it was. I think you know, I really like, you know, experienced folks like you and Grant and whatnot, where we're all aligned in that we want people to do good things and not damage the industry, and hopefully we can rebuild it back to what it once was.
Anthony tells this story all the time. When he started in Vegas, there were 13 hypnosis shows up and down the strip. 13.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Definitely room out there for a lot of talented people to make a living doing this.
Yeah.
Although entertainment has changed quite a bit in our current era.
What have you noticed has been the biggest change? Is it more of like technology is replacing just kind of raw talent?
If I want to see a show as a young person, I can go on YouTube or TikTok and see a minute or 2 minutes of that show, and that's all I need. Now I've seen that show.
Mm-hmm.
I like a comedian. I'm going to watch this reel. Oh, that was funny. That was a funny thing.
Yeah.
And now I don't have to go to a comedy club because young people don't drink anyway, for the most part.
Yeah.
It's not a generation of drinkers. So
Or the wrong people are drinking.
yeah. But no, it's changed quite a bit with the advent of the connectivity that we have, the instant gratification syndrome that we have, and that sort of thing. Yeah, I notice a much more advanced in age audience at my shows.
Yeah.
Thank you for putting it so delicately.
Yeah. I'm older than you think. Let's play the how old is Steve game. Then you can guess my weight after that. Start with the age.
No,
Steve is 49.
Oh, that's pretty good. A little older.
Me too.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not quite seasoned.
No. You'll get
But,
there.
oh yeah, my surgery on Monday says yes. My parts of me are already there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure to mark the parts that you don't want cut off.
Yeah.
Better to clear that up.
Or you may have something handed to you in a box. Okay, how was that for a callback?
Well played, Shawn.
All right, I need to take my wife to dinner.
Absolutely. Yep.
Steve, please extend our gratitude to her for her patience and sharing her time with you.
Yeah, I absolutely will. And yeah,
we'll get you back on the calendar hopefully sooner than later.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
So awesome. With the motorcycle, keep the rubber side down, man.
All right, will do. And it was an absolute pleasure. Thank you guys so much for having me, and let's do it again sometime.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Count on it.
All right. See you,
Shawn, you gonna take us out?
Steve Falcon, everybody.
All right. See you guys.
Take care, Steve.
Have a good night.
Yeah.
All right. That just leaves the two of us. Oh my.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right, welcome back. The inmates are running the asylum. And
no, it's all good. We always end off our show with a what we call the hypnosis portion of the show, because this show is all about hypnosis, believe it or not. And so our disclaimer is that, hey, remember, hypnosis relies on focus. If you need to focus on your current circumstances, i.e. you are driving, cooking, chopping vegetables, doing something that otherwise would preoccupy you, please feel free to turn this off and come back to it later. You will always find us on YouTube, Hypnosis Hero Podcast. You will find us on Facebook at least for 3 or 4 weeks, however long they let the videos stay up there as well. And you will be finding us at some point on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
So
those are coming soon to a podcast platform near you.
Oh, good stuff. So I'm gonna turn video off and I'll mute myself, because speaking of preoccupied, somebody is telling me that it is outside 30 and that they are hungry. So
all right.
So I'll be right back.
Yep, we will see you in a moment. And for those of you that are participating in the what I call the hypnosis portion of the show, please feel free to find a comfortable spot. And when you find that comfortable spot, find a spot on the wall or something that you want to focus on. Because hypnosis, of course, happens. It can happen now, 5 seconds from now. And the good thing is, it's always very relaxing. So as you focus on that spot or that item, take a nice deep breath in. And as you let it out, feel yourself beginning to relax. In fact, you may find that it's almost like a wave rolling from your head down to your toes. And everywhere that it touches, every muscle that it touches just simply relaxes. As you take another nice deep breath in, that wave rolling down and rolling up, every part that it touches relaxes more and more and more. And you know that the more you focus on my voice, the deeper you go, the better you feel. As you continue relaxing down even deeper. With another nice deep breath in. And then allowing your eyes to close if they haven't already. Feeling more and more relaxed. As we drop down now from 10 down to 9. And 9 down to 8, going deeper and deeper. And 8 becoming 7. And 6, dropping down into hypnosis. That's right. And at 5, allowing yourself a nice deep breath in. And going 5 times deeper. And 4. That's right. Dropping down 3. And 2, doubling that relaxation. 1. And as we get to 0, focusing on my voice. And relaxing. That's right. And knowing that you're in a comfortable, relaxed state. And knowing that in this comfortable and relaxed state we call hypnosis, that many things are possible. And what I'd like you to do now, in this nice and relaxed state, is to picture in your mind your favorite color. And picture yourself looking at your favorite color in your mind. And whether you look up or down, side to side, you could turn around, you could do a somersault, you could do a handstand, whatever it is, everywhere you look, it's just your favorite color. And that color is bright, whatever hue, however it shows up in your mind, it's your favorite color. And I want you also at this time to move your hands. They're going to float up to your heart. So both hands over your heart. And I want to lock this in with your favorite color in your mind and your hands on your heart. Feeling this peace, feeling relaxed. That whenever you need to revisit this place, whenever you need to find that peace, whenever you need to anchor yourself, you can put your hands over your heart. You can bring your favorite color into your mind just as it is now. And you can feel the relaxation, feel the peace, dissipate the tension. That's right. And I call this my gift because it's a gift I give all the people that I work with as clients. It's a gift that I give all the people that I entertain. They all get this gift. And the cool thing is, when I snap my fingers, there's no take backsies. It's your gift. I've given it to you. And you can use this anytime it's appropriate to do so. Going forward, as I snap my fingers, that gift becomes yours. Now, your gift. And as you continue feeling this peace, feeling this wonderful feeling, know that in just a moment, I will count from 1 to 5. And when we get to the number 5, of course, you will be back in the room. So you can allow your hands to go down by your side. Allow that color to dissipate from your mind. As we count now, starting with the number 1, knowing that that gift is yours. And at 2, knowing that you will have a good sleep tonight. Not just a good sleep, you'll have a great sleep tonight. And at 3, taking in a nice deep breath. As you let it out, and we go to 4, feeling your eyes opening. And the awareness building back into the room at 5. Fully back into the room. Let us know how that was for you. It's actually been a while since I've done that one.
No, I didn't want to interrupt, so I was like, I'm just going to be quiet.
Oh, all good.
So, yeah, that was God. I can't believe that an hour and a half, 2 hours flew by so quickly.
It always seems to be the same. Like we get going, we have the interview, everything is good. All of a sudden we look at the time and it's like, oh my gosh, we've kept people way too long.
Yeah. But
that's okay because there's always lots to say. I mean, it's for me.
That's what's enjoyable about the platform is that you just get to have conversations with people, and you can kind of go off on different tangents and everything, and then redirect back to the original subject matter.
All right, Becca has received the gift. There you go. It's worth $1 million. Pardon me.
The checks in the mail.
£1 million.
I was going to say, what's the exchange rate on British pounds to Canadian kopecks?
Well, that's about it.
But
no, it's all fun and games. So yeah, next 2 weeks from now, we've got another guest coming up. The always what's the word I want to say? Because he is a fellow Saskatchewanian, he's a fellow Canadian. Mm-hmm. Actually, we live probably 4 hours away from each other. And the first time I met him in person was at PHS, not this year, but not this one, but the last one. Okay. When he popped down. So
2025.
Yeah. Our guest will be the amazing Jesse Lewis.
Oh, awesome. That'll be good to chat with him.
Yeah. We missed him this year for sure. I know he did an online presentation at PHS, and we should mention that if you are looking at attending the Performing Hypnosis Summit, or that you want to speak at the Performing Hypnosis Summit, those options are now available on the Performing Hypnosis Summit website. You can jump in there, book your room, put in your speaker application, and get ready to find the best deal to get you to Vegas.
Yeah, that's I just sent you over a picture of the hardware that's going to be installed.
I was going to say, oh yeah. And that's going. Where are they installing that?
Whoops. There we go. All of a sudden, like the camera froze. That will probably be somewhere on the front side of the vertebrae.
Okay.
So that will, the way as I understand, is they're gonna, between C6 and 7, they'll go in through one side or the other, move all the muscles and stuff out of the way, separate, take bad disc out, throw a block in there, bolt the titanium plate on there, and then screw that in and let her chooch. So that will fuse 6 and 7.
Okay.
So it's yeah, I was like, they're not going to use like these deck screws, right? But
well, if they're Canadian deck screws, they'll at least last through the winter.
Yeah, galvanized and stuff like that. But
powdered and everything else that you don't want to have rolling through your body.
Yeah, so it's one of the questions I'll have to ask is like, I don't think it's going to be an issue like with airline travel, but going through the TSA, when they flag a business card in my pocket that I didn't take out, it'll probably be like, hey, you're going to see a little something right about there. But yeah, it's
never hurts to carry your medical records.
Yeah, we were going through all of the disclosures and everything.
Well, even medications, like I've got because the pharmacy that I have, they'll print out a long list of things, and these are the prescriptions. You can match them up if you want.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I didn't have to do that coming in this time, but every so often
they don't put the prescriptions right on the box or bottle or container that.
Oh yeah, they do, but still,
okay.
You will get the odd person who will question. Is that really yours? Yeah, it's really
mine. It's got my name on it.
Yeah, but be that as it may, 2 weeks time we'll have Jesse on, and you're gonna have a good surgery, and
yeah,
it is.
Yeah, like all the stuff they were like, okay, all the disclosures of like, here's all of the things that could go wrong. And I'm like, you guys are not helping.
Yeah, but they say that with every surgery, right?
Yeah, and the surgeon seems very, very capable, very experienced, and from what I can tell, has a great reputation.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have asked like, hey, who's doing it? And I tell them, and they're like, okay, yeah, this, other doctors in the industry are like, yep, that person's awesome.
Yep.
So
that's always good. They always go to the restaurant where people, if it's an ethnic restaurant, you always go to the one where they will eat, because then it's authentic food, right? And the same thing with doctors. If doctors are recommending doctors, that's usually a good sign that somebody actually knows what they're doing.
Yeah, kind of same thing with attorneys. It's like, hey, there was a case that we were involved in, and there was a criminal component to it where the public defender was involved, and we were like, should we be looking at getting our client, new counsel? And so we went upstairs to one of our colleagues in the in the building, and she was like, that public defender would be my number one call if I ever got put in the hot seat.
Yeah,
to defend me. So yeah, when there's only 2 barbers in town, you go to the one that's got the bad haircut. So
fortunately, I've only got 2 barbers in town. The rest are hairstylists, and at least one of those barbers, I'm pretty sure, has the same hairstyle that I do. So
right, they're like, oh, we know how to cut your hair, Shawn.
Yep, it's all good. Anyway, we should let everybody get to bed here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, God, it's still 7:45 in the evening. The night is still young on this end.
Yep. No, it's only quarter. Like it's dark outside, but it is really only quarter to 9. Normally by now I'm ready to, head off to bed myself. I still have to cook some stew tonight, so
yeah, I've got to get some food in me, but yeah, it's going to be, road to recovery. Not a lot of, I'm going to be off the motorcycle for a while, which sad, but hopefully we'll get a fair amount of relief that should be good.
Yep.
So
short term pain, long term gain.
Yeah, and so it's one of those. If in the event that things go super sideways, Shawn, it's been a pleasure. I love you all and stuff like that. But no, I think you guys will be sentenced to see me 2 weeks from now.
Yep. Well, that's. I think I can live with that. It's it can be a burden, but
those terms and conditions are acceptable to you.
Yeah.
So
all good. With that in mind, you know what? We say this every week, every time we close. Take care, stay well, be awesome, everybody.
Stay free, guys.